This video is going to focus on what you really need to be concerned with about viruses and how they affect the world around you. Viruses really have either a harmful effect or a helpful effect, depending on how we decided that we are going to use them. Most common thing you're probably aware of with viruses is the harmful effect, because viruses cause diseases. Um, they cause what we call viral diseases, such as common cold, AIDS, which was coming from the HIV virus, and other ones I'm sure you've heard of. Viruses are diseases that you normally get um, vaccinations for. So when you were younger, you probably got a measles, mumps, rubella vaccine. You probably got a chickenpox vaccine. You get a tetanus shot every now and then. But these are things that you take preventative care over, and you can pretty much uh, either prevent them from happening, or if you do end up getting a virus, a lot of times you treat the symptoms of it, and you just kind of let the virus run its course and let your body fight it off. For example, the common cold. Every year you probably get a cold at some point. This is caused by a virus. However, there's so many different strands of the common cold and different types of viruses that cause it, that it's not really worth being vaccinated for. I can tell you, once you get one type of the common cold, you're not going to get that specific type again. The same thing happens with the flu. So once you get a virus and your body fights it off, your body builds up an immunity system to it, and it prevents it from getting it again. However, that first time might cause some damage, and is definitely something that should be a concern of you, and you should definitely seek help to treat symptoms if you do not know what's going on. Especially if it's a common cold, you probably just take decongestants, um, or even if you get a fever or something they'll deal with the fever. The other side of viruses that you're probably not too familiar with is how they are useful. And this is kind of a fourth runner in our scientific adventures that our scientists are still looking into, and that is the use of viruses in gene therapy. Basically, a virus is a thing that hijacks your cell and tells your cell to do something else. Well, let's say if we can uh, hijack the virus, put the genetic code in there that we want it to do, and then inject it into you, we can hijack your cells and make your cells do what we want them to do. So if your cells are not working properly and they have a mutation in their genetic functions, we can fix that theoretically through gene therapy. Basically, we can inject it in there and have it take over your cells and make your cells do other things. Currently, the focus is on cystic fibrosis and other disorders that are genetic related. But this could even go down to the fact that, okay, if you want to change your genetics, how do you do it? Well, maybe you want blue eyes instead of brown eyes. Gene therapy might be a solution to that, even though it's not really a problem. But I could inject your body with viruses that attack your optical cells there, your cones and your rods and your iris, and change the way that they work. And the color it's producing is just a protein, so if I hijack those cells and I tell it to, instead of making brown proteins, make blue proteins, then your eyes would start being blue instead of brown. Obviously, you can probably think of all the ethical reasons why this is a slow process. Changing your genetic map is pretty much the equivalent to playing God, so a lot of ethics boards are going to shut down research that involves this. But it is something that is being studied. It is a pretty interesting field if you ever want to look more deeper into it. That's going to conclude our section about viruses specifically. Our next video is going to start bacteria. So keep in mind everything we did about viruses here. If you have to revisit them, please do so.